Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brian Crazy. You're watching my brand, that from Brand of Wrestling, and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. Since 2010, proudly providing you with the wrestling news, reviews, rumors, insights that you're going to costume to. And you saw the title of this video. I am back with my WWE Payback review and results for you guys tonight. I'm going to apologize in advance. This is going to be a little bit shorter of a video than normal. I'm coming off being very sick. I'm just getting my voice back. And if I talk for too long, you won't be able to hear me anyway. So what good is that going to do anybody? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now, Payback was a great pay-per-view in my opinion. It took place June 16, 2013 from the Allstate Arena, formerly known as the Rosemont Horizon in Rosemont, Illinois. There were 7 matches on the card and 1 on the pre-show, and we'll jump right into it. On the pre-show, Sheamus picked up the win over Damien Sandow, and then we go right into the Payback pay-per-view. Now, originally it was supposed to be a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title, Wade Barrett defending against The Miz and Fandango. Fandango ended up suffering a concussion, and Curtis Axel was, interjecting to this match. He was added just last Monday night on Raw. Now, originally it was speculated that Fandango was going to pick up the title, and then once they announced that Curtis Axel was his replacement, I wondered, are they going to keep this undefeated streak going? Are they going to allow him to pick up the championship and really, keep this momentum going? Stay behind this character and not drop his push after a few weeks like we've seen with so many other superstars. And they did not disappoint tonight. He won in typical heel fashion. We saw The Miz have Wade Barrett locked in the figure 4 leg lock, and Curtis Axel just slides in from the outside, absolutely capitalizes, picks up the 3 count, and he is your new Intercontinental Champion. After the match, he had a very special moment. He's just holding the title. He looks up, looks up to the sky, looks up at his late great father, Kurt Hennig, one of the greatest superstars never to hold the WWE Championship. And it was just an incredible moment. We have a new Intercontinental Champion, and I am not disappointed. In the second match of the night, Divas title was on the line, and we have a new Divas champion. AJ Lee ended up picking up the win over Caitlyn, and this was a great match. Very physical Divas match, a lot of false finishes. AJ Lee locked in her submission mover several times, but she ended up winning by submission. That final time, she ended up getting it. Caitlyn just could not overcome, and she ended up tapping out to AJ Lee. In the third match of the night, Dean Ambrose ended up picking up the win over Kane via countout. The finish of this match was pretty good, actually. The match started off a little slow, picked up pace in the later moments, and we end up outside the ring. Kane goes to dismantle the Spanish announce table. Dean Ambrose ends up hitting a really hard DDT. Kane is knocked out cold. Right before the referee counts to 10, Ambrose gets into the ring and ends up winning the match. In the fourth match of the night, Del Rio ends up picking up the win over Dolph Ziggler, and a lot of people, this was for the World's Heavyweight title. The previous match was for the United States title, if I did not mention that. And a lot of people are going to say that they're punishing Ziggler. I honestly believe that they're doing one of two things. One, Ziggler just wasn't ready. He still needs more time, and it's already been 5 weeks. They need a world champion. They need a world champion on SmackDown. They need a world champion at the live events, and they decided to put the title on Del Rio for now. 2, they decided to use this as a way to facilitate maybe some sort of role reversal. Turn, Ziggler into the face, turn Del Rio back into a tweener or heel character. He was very vicious in this match, focused on, the injured head, kept hitting him in the head, hitting him in the head, and hitting him in the head. And I don't know if this was the smartest decision. We know that this is staged. We know this is laid out in advance. And, this was booked to have a guy with a head injury take more blows to the head. I don't know if that's the smartest thing, and it kind of makes me believe that maybe he was 100%, and that was the only way he could take these sort of blows, and this is all part of a bigger storyline to do this role reversal. Because after the match, Del Rio cut a very heelish promo. He asked the fans to cheer him, and when they didn't, you could tell him get a little more agitated and a little more and ask for it, and they just continued to boo and continued to boo. But you could tell the Chicago crowd was very partisan to Dolph Ziggler. So we have a new World's Heavyweight Champion, we have a new Divas Champion, and we have a new Intercontinental Champion already tonight. Then we go into the 5th match of the night, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, and my God, this was a match of the night candidate, if not match of the year candidate. This did not disappoint, and I could spend the next 5 or 10 minutes talking about spots, but like I mentioned early on, I'll end up losing my voice. You won't be able to hear me anyway. My mouth will just be, unless you guys can read lips, and that might be fun for some of you at home, but I think the majority of my audience probably would rather me hurry my ass up, get out what I have to say, and get this up for you guys. And, this match did not disappoint. I mean, we had some incredible spots. Punk locked in the vice standing up, and Jericho's just desperately trying to get out with the rib shots. We end up seeing, Punk go off the top rope, and Jericho catches him in the code breaker. There was this one moment where Jericho had him locked in the walls of Jericho, and I was really like, man, if Punk was to lose and Jericho was to get the win, how great would it be if Punk passed out, very reminiscent to the Stone Cold Bret Hart. There's been so many comparisons between CM Punk and Stone Cold over the years. But CM Punk was successful, picked up the win over Jericho. I'm really curious where this is going to go from here. Also, very interesting thing that happened throughout the night. Rob Van Dam chant started throughout the arena, and we end up seeing in the trending now at the bottom of the screen, Rob Van Dam is trending. Now, WWE would not publicize a wrestler that wasn't somehow involved with their organization. They're not going to give somebody a free press just for the hell of doing it. So it makes me believe that the rumors are true, and Rob Van Dam may be returning sooner rather than later. I would love to see maybe CM Punk turn face, and maybe, RVD become the third Paul Heyman guy, maybe, revitalize the feud that he had with John Cena so many years ago. I mean, the options are endless. Also, it was rumored that the Wyatt family may debut tonight, but I have a feeling that maybe they're saving that for tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Then we go into the sixth match of the night, The Shield, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins versus Team RK. No. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, and this was a good match. It did not disappoint. And the finish of this match, I'm sure a lot of people are going to look at differently. But I honestly believe that, Randy Orton didn't intentionally feed his partner to a spear. What ended up happening is Randy Orton ended up kind of pushing off from Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan was the recipient of a spear from Roman Reigns. And if you look at it quickly, it almost looks like, Orton kind of pushes him off to save his own ass. But I think he was honestly kind of just trying to spin off. Now, I don't know, what other people's take on this, and I don't know if WWE is going to try to use this as Randy Orton threw his partner to the wolf sort of situation. I'm kind of curious how this is going to play out. But Reigns and Rollins are still your WWE Tag Team Champions. In the seventh match of the night, we had 3 stages of hell. The defending WWE Champion John Cena squared off against Ryback. First fall was a lumberjack match. Ryback beat him clean in the center of the ring, and the lumberjacks were very partisan. If John Cena fell with the faces, they just kind of let him get back in the ring. If he fell with the heels, they beat him down. Not like a typical lumberjack match where all the lumberjacks are just being absolutely vicious. It was a little bit different tonight. It was kind of interesting, and it really seemed a little more real. Why would the faces that are cool with this guy want to beat him down? It made it seem a little more real, and I like that. When you know it's a scripted show, but when you stand back for a minute, you're like, could that really happen? That's the moments that I love, the moments that could be real. In the second fall, the tables match, John Cena picked up the win. In the third fall, the ambulance match. This is after absolutely ripping this ambulance apart. I want to know who built this ambulance, and if I was her, I'd probably be better off walking to the hospital. If I had my arm cut off, towel wrapped around, losing blood, because I don't think this ambulance was safe for anybody to ride in. Obviously, it was staged for this to happen, guys. It's pro wrestling. We got to look past these little things. But the fender ends up coming off. They end up ripping the door off, and the closing moments of the match, John Cena puts Ryback in the ambulance. So sure he does. He ends up AAing him right through the goddamn roof. It was a great spot. It was a great match. I really would have liked to see a little more intensity out of John Cena tonight. And Ryback was just absolutely impressive. There was this one little spot that just shows, how smart Ryback is. A little bit, gives you a little bit insight in the psyche of Ryback. Cena goes to slam him through the table, and before, just as Cena's even just getting him up on the shoulders, Ryback flips the table right over, like, nah, I ain't going through that. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I enjoyed it, and now I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know your guys' take, and I want you to drop them below. For the F and brand, my name is Brian Crazy, and I almost forgot this. Me and JC Styles watched this pay-per-view together. We just shot a full review, but unfortunately, we weren't able to upload that. There was no sound. And that's why my voice is so scratchy. I actually sound halfway decent, 45 minutes ago when I started this whole process. He had to head upstairs. He's got work really early in the morning. I'm not too far after that with things I have to do. And guys, I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for checking out this video. And drop those comments below. For the F and brand, my name is Brian Crazy, and I'll catch you later.